the king.
Welcome custom car fans, this is Aurora representing the EXU staff team, and today we'll be covering the newest ban list to go into effect on EXU following the introduction of the new TCG ban list. Now, I'll level with all of you. This time around, it's cleanup duty. We're sweeping everything you hate about this format into the bin. Or if your name rhymes with Schmetzel or Schmork, we're inflicting torture upon you. There are very few unhits this time around, as we've quite literally taken a large quantity of cards behind the woodshed. I feel as though it would be best first to discuss the cards that are not moving into their new TCG positions. Herald of Orange Light will be remaining at 3, as the problem deck, Ishizu Telement, is mortally assaulted. Lyrilusk Recital Starling will be staying at 1 for the time being, as will the Floodgates Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure. Macro and Di-Fi have the unique property amongst Floodgates of being both a wall for your opponent and an enabler for you when you're playing a Banish deck, which makes them intensely powerful when increased in consistency. Metaverse 2 will be staying at 1, as we don't think it's necessary to unhit it due to Mystic Mine being banned when we've had that banned for ages, and Telenite Ptolemaeus will also remain banned. I'm sorry. I know it's super cool that it just came off the list, but we have much more powerful rank 5s in EXU than in the TCG, that are primarily restricted by their material requirements. Artifact Tombogiri, for example, needs 2 artifacts, and it's a monster negate that doubles as a pop, which is very strong if its materials change to any 3 level 4s and an extra deck slot. With that out of the way, let's start at the bottom and work our way up. White Dragon Wyverburster has been unlimited, white as the winter snow where it shall frolic in the cold. Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, however, is dead in a ditch, but we don't need to worry about that. Marincess Wave is back at 3. Its limited status is largely inconsequential to the deck's performance, as the deck routinely plays only 1 regardless, but now it is back, we can play 3 for fun. Trickstar Light Stage is also coming back to 3, having done nothing at 2, as we feel that Trickstar being a link engine is just fine to come back. If I start getting toss mirrors in the Battleground reports, however, I'm going to start tossing hands. Newly limited on the list, firstly, are the Dangers Nessie and Tsuchinoko, joining their compadre Jackalope at last. This hit was made to limit the power of Danger Darkworld, which has become alarmingly powerful with the release of the Darkworld structure deck. Also newly limited is Mudora the Sword Oracle, being a very powerful enabler of Gravekeeper's Trap while having the dual function of being graveyard control. The last limits for this list are Naturia Camellia and Naturia Mole Cricket. Here comes the Weed Killer. Both of these cards have been absurdly powerful with the Naturia strategy for a long time, and we would like to reduce the consistency at which these cards can be accessed. And now, for the juicy bit. The bans. Agido the Ancient Sentinel, Kelbeck the Ancient Vanguard, and Keldo the Sacred Protector are all now banned from competitive play. This is due to their insane milling capabilities in conjunction with Tyr, ridiculous disruption for the graveyard, and just their Geronicity. Having been a plague for so long, finally these cards are defeated. Following up on Telement, we have Primeval Planet Perlorino. This field spell is crazy, as it's not only a rotor but also disruption, almost like Mudora and Kelbeck, but this time arguably stronger and searchable via terraforming to boot. After that, we have some pseudo Dark World hits, though these are really just generically very strong cards that Dark World happens to be one of the first to abuse. Glow Up Bulb has been at 3 and abusable for a long time, so before it could get broken, we've decided to close the curtains on it. Necomane King is a turn skip enabler that becomes alarmingly easy to enable with something like Dark World, and so to future-proof the format against turn skips like this, we've banned the problem card. Aren't you lucky to have us? Finally, Curious the Lightsworn Dominion has been banned, due to correlating issues with, I guess whatever plays Curious. It's almost a free Foolish Burial and Foolish Burial goods at the same time, plus it mills. And that brings us to our last cards on the list. Barrier statues of the Drought, Torrent, Inferno, Heavens, and Abyss have been banned from play. As the game progresses, it seems that decks have become more and more generic. Vernisylph is a great example of how the Earth attribute has become generic, and in a deck like Vernisylph, something like Barrier Statue of the Drought is too oppressive for our tastes. We'd like to ban these cards before any more decks, any more bad choices that Konami makes, can be inflicted upon us. So what are the strongest decks in the new format? Dark World certainly seems to be at least a threat, and though its unhit makes a little difference to its plays, Marincess could certainly see a resurgence as a strong deck. I think, however, there's all one thing that we can agree on. The strongest deck in the format is no longer Shizu Telement. I feel satisfied. You can find out yourself by clicking the link in the description of this video to our Discord server, where you can play competitively and casually and talk with hundreds of custom card creators around the world. Make sure to like the video, and if you enjoyed, subscribe and click the notification bell if you want to be updated every time we upload. That'll be all from me, and we'll see you next time.